Hello. I actually I actually got myself together 1 minute to the stream, and I was like, shit, am I playing for keyboard or controller? I'm just playing for keyboard because I didn't know this control support. I didn't think about this. I guess keyboard mouse will be fine. Anyway, yeah, welcome to the stream. Twitter's on fire. Yeah, everything's all going great. So, yeah. I sent out a stream announcement, but I also did it on Tumblr too, just to cover my back, I guess. You can't see the buttons. There are options for languages you cannot see. I don't know why, but whatever. English. Confirm. Why is it not? Okay, technical issues, everyone. I don't know why it's not moving. I technically haven't played the game before. Strange. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on. I don't have my technical assistant with me right now. When it's on window capture. How about if we do game capture? I don't know. Please just slide to the computer. It's barely visible. Just do this. Yeah, I'm on game capture now. Maybe I need to reload the game. I don't want to reload the game until I can actually... Give me a second. The current time is 8:04 PM. I don't know I'm going this way. Hold on. Let me quit desktop. Oh, you can see my... Okay, hold on. Maybe my BRB screen up. There we go, sorry. Games. Stanley Parable. Hold on. Oh, that's weird. Why can you see like half of OBS? What? Oh wait, hold on. What? Okay, well, has that worked? I guess that's worked. I don't know why. I just moved OBS. From the time. It's now at 8:05. Are you working? Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times when you boot up the game. A lot of people don't actually take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But actually, I appreciate that. That's how I know you care about this experience you're paying attention. Well, I am streaming. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just let clock to your favourite time. Bedtime. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to your video game now. Well, to the video game, but it's my video game. I should begin the game. The end is never the end. The end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the order
Stanley's a workaholic.
as though he had been made exactly for this Stanley was happy.
And Stanley was happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Sorry, I'll be.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single
It took an hour to
had arrived
realize.
on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
How dare they?
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very
Sounds to me he's quite
clearly
isolated
wrong.
already.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped
my
out
God.
of his office.
It's a lot more sensitive than I was imagining. Actually, it's almost too sensitive. Can we turn this down? We can have a controller. Can we? That's just bindings. I guess camera sensitive is what we need. 3. Okay, it's all a bit. Oh, it feels really floaty. Knock knock.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Right,
Could it
for the
mean
first time,
Stanley
I'm
decided to
going
go
to
to the meeting room?
behave and
Perhaps he had
listen
simply
to the
missed a
narrator
memo.
completely. Username access. Okay. Plant. What do you mean, camera sensitivity? It was moving too fast.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep, I'm gonna behave. Very nice pictures. I want them on my wall.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
But I think a stupid idea. No more bins. Ideas bin. I haven't seen these all properly yet. No, we won't do that yet. We'll be completely...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Right. Is that blinding you enough? Bougie. Picture bathroom.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Dark room.
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from
With
him.
the number.
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
2.
But of course,
8,
Stanley
4,
couldn't possibly have
5.
known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the
Brain.
keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Ooh.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Film set. Maybe. Perhaps. Something behind here? No, just a random... Guess we're going down. Loading, 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 loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Yes.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest,
Ooh.
as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never
Because
occurred
Stanley's
to
a
him?
dummy.
This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Almost on that trumpet. Oh dear. It's okay, I have chocolate.
The lights rose on an enormous
cat
room
likes
packed
this.
with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Don't fall off. Ooh.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many
That up there's
individuals
bothering me. Why is
reduced
it
to
a Tetris
images on a
block?
screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Nope. Oh, next button.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Fires.
Was this the only reason he was
blank
happy
screen.
with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I think we all feel like that.
No. He
No.
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
No.
His own life in someone else's control?
Never.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Elon Musk right now.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Didn't even let me finish. I know what you want.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
He's dead.
Was it over? Yes. He had won.
Hurrah!
He had defeated the machine.
Right,
Unshackled
go everyone.
himself
Thanks
from
for doing
someone
that.
else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door
We're not
slowly
far away. I
opened,
want to drink some
Stanley
far away.
reflected on how
Come
many
here, pink
puzzles
lemonade.
still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would
thought I was
anyone
going
tell
somewhere
him
there,
where
I'm
to
not.
go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be.
Wait,
his.
hey, isn't that
was
what the
all
picture
he
was we
needed
saw
to know.
earlier?
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Let me through. Let me through. Let me through.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation,
Now
the
this
immense
is ridiculous.
possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to
True that.
happen. And Stanley was happy.
That's what we like to see. We've been good. We listened to the narrator. Beat the game. Woo! Right, yeah, go. But now the tables turn. We're gonna do the opposite of everything. We're gonna be rebellious this time.
All of his co-workers were
gone.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
One ended. I can't remember how many enders there are.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But we're gonna enter the door on our right. We're not turning left.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah, well.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Just admire being relaxed before things get tense, you know?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Like a drink.
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's
Do
incredible
not lie.
he
If you're
wasn't
lying
5
right
years
now,
ago.
stop. We will save the jump for another time.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Well,
I
when you
realize
say it
that
like
investing
that,
your
I
trust
don't
in
think you're
someone
lying.
else can be
You need to stop
difficult.
lying.
But the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
We
Someone
won't
you've
jump
forgotten
off yet. It won't be that
about.
rebellious.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
That sounds really a bye.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
Yeah, right.
To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Right.
She's been waiting.
Uh-huh. I don't know which way I'm going. I can't even go through this way. I can't. Okay. I'm going this way then. Hello, forklift.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the... Oh, no, you can't...
Yes, I
But
will.
you just unplugged the phone.
Yeah, I did.
Now, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was
I've done it a billion times
Let me
already.
double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day.
Yep.
Stanley picks up the phone.
Nope.
He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes
Wife who?
in, fade to white, roll credits.
Don't know her.
Not
Stanley's
picking up the
gay,
phone
that's why.
is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Yeah. Hello.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long.
I'm streaming,
If
brother,
you
get
made
over
any
it.
more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the
Wanna see
situation?
the video?
Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Watch the video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most
Making
dangerous.
Twitter polls.
For
Which I
example,
can't right now.
in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He
Rupert
could
the
invent a
bear.
machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people.
Crab chance
Or
and
he could
eagles.
spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their
Makes sense,
thought,
people,
then
otherwise
provide
you're
an
not real.
excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm
It's a
supposed to be
crispy
having a
Back
back
sack
sack
and
and crack."
crack. My goodness, back
Excellent.
sack.
Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
I don't think we make more than
Do
that.
you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make
Well, I
a
chose to have more
significant
chocolate.
contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant,
Bruh.
and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Well, narrator, you're up.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
It's gonna be rebellious, though, aren't we? Can I go for this door yet, still? No, I don't think so. Right on the platform, then.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
I could, but I won't. We're going back. Oh, look at Twilight Princess.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
I'm stuck to the computer.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right it is.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Well, if I just stay here, what then? Oh, that's a very nice combined photo there. What a mess. Okay, you know what, never mind. We'll have to go back, don't we? Should we go back in there again? Doesn't want to say anything, is he? Okay. Okay, we'll go left. We'll go left. Narrator? Narrator!
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do?
I think it's a work of art, honestly.
If there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work?
Well, just come back again.
No. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Do I go manager? Oh. Woo! Scary. Oh. We have takeoff. Please trap yourself in. Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you.
Yep.
You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Did you think that would be funny? You just
it's very entertaining for my stream, thank you very
much.
much.
Impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley. He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh.
I'm a child inside. I mean, I still like Mario, so come on.
If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious.
See it.
It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But this is right. Because right is right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly
I don't think he's
and
doing
always
this. If
putting
I
the
keep going
story
right, but...
first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh. It opens that way. No. Okay, fine.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Okay, it's gonna keep doing this, isn't it?
Behave exactly as
Okay,
Stanley would.
fine, we'll go left.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Yep.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, left. We're going left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Aha.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it.
Oh, yes.
Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115.
Night Shark?
Was this the code to open the
Well,
door?
could it interrupt me, or
Would
it really
still
won't work?
There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
I can't remember it now. The song. Da, 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 da.
Stanley spoke the code.
Night Shark 115.
He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
I ain't doing nothing, narrator.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yeah, your game
You
doesn't
didn't
have
mishear
voice
me, did you?
control.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Now for your game's fudged, mate.
Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do.
Yes.
I asked you
Look at
for
your
this
lovely
one single
paintings.
thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have
A
gone
mess
through the
of
door
you.
on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors...
This is the true ending, isn't it? Look at him. Silly man.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
Yep, Stanley needs me. You need Stanley. Stanley needs me.
I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all
Yep,
right?
yeah, that's the true ending.
Stanley, this is important. The story
Da
is
da
you
da
need you to make a decision.
da
You cannot exist
da
without you.
da
Do you
da.
understand me?
And more
If any
chocolate.
choice you make is just fine, they're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Sorry, Leroy.
That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Not sure which one to do next.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Isn't there one where you can like get up in the window?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Advances the lovely sound of clicking. No, you can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. I'm pretty sure there's an ending where you get to click on different things. I think you just gotta click your own things right, or something. Lovely door sounds. I don't know. Input received. Who farted? I thought I said who farted was in there. Oh, bad coffee stain.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We'll go left this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I remember. Stuff happens in here.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow.
But it's
just
the
an empty
broom
broom closet. No
Come
reason
on.
to still be here.
I'm just eating my chocolate.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom
Yeah, I'm
closet.
eating.
He wasn't even doing
great.
anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet
I'm actually
FA.
moving. Like, let me just look at it. I have my drink, you know.
Are you really still in the broom
Yep.
closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I'm just chilling. Just chilling, having a good time, you know. Got my broom, got my closet.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right?
Mm.
If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
No, it's right
And I
there.
would
It's
have
got stuff
thought
in
to
it. I
mention
mean,
it.
why, I can walk in it. Why shouldn't I? You know?
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path.
Yeah, it could be a secret
Maybe
door
when
right
you go
here.
talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite."
Yeah.
I hope your friends find this concerning.
I'll stay here. Don't mind me.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
No, you.
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yeah, I think you are. You need to, stop being concerned about me.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're
I'm
dead.
moving.
You got to this broom
What's that
closet,
sound?
explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system
That's a bit
and
gross.
you collapsed on the keyboard.
Uh-huh.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead.
Nope.
They have fallen prey to any number
I've
of
got
your
headphones
countless
on.
human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
No, I think I'll stay here. Any second? Any second? Is there anything else to say? Maybe? Let's just wait. Narrator. Narrator. I think, do I have set up out? Let me have a shot clock. Okay.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board.
Let's go back in.
You too?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
That's quite hot. Back in. Maybe? I don't know. Although, it's now a dead end.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to
Let's
his
walk
boss's
downstairs.
office.
Fire hose. Oh, I know
But
this
Stanley
one.
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss.
I know this
admitting
one.
he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Go round and
All
round in
because he
circles.
believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe,
Almost spoke.
he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close
His feet are really
automatically
small.
behind him wherever he went?
And his legs are really
And
wide.
for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
Yeah.
He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
20
He
seconds.
thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
I mean, is he lucid?
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest
He's
question
dead.
of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was
almost.
describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my
stay
thoughts,
still for a
he
second.
thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take
I
responsibility.
don't like
for
the
himself.
white on the walls.
Stanley is as awake right
Bit
now
sus.
as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
Wake up,
I'm
give
through
yourself a
with this
shake up.
dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
I'm not going to do that.
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
No, it's not. Welcome back.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Mic drop.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
We need to have Mariella, yeah.
Mariella woke
We
up
done
on a day
Mariella
like any
spin-off.
other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the
I
strange
love how she's
man.
like there,
He was
like
obviously
observing.
crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control.
Good
of
for
my
you,
mind.
Mariella.
I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
So I'm my mum.
She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down
Feels
at
like
the
an
body.
age.
And then she turned and ran.
How many endings till I get the DLC?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
3 endings found. Is it 4 endings until? Let's go.
When Stanley
Let's
came
go
to a
right
set
again.
of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes. This room.
This room.
What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous,
I know. I mean, look
gorgeous
at that
room.
plant.
Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Let's go through the open door.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Okay. Let's do this one. What if I go back round here though? No? Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Is there another ending upstairs? Let's go downstairs.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
Wait, hold on. Is this the same
And in
one?
such a competitive economy, why
Is this the
had
same
he
one again?
taken
I'll
that
restart.
risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he
take
was
my jumper.
crazy. And
Yeah,
then
I
something-
have. I was wondering. Hold on. Let's begin the game. Yeah. The ending doesn't have a lot to it then, does it? Is there another ending upstairs? I can't remember.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We'll go down that other thing that I didn't go down, sort of.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
There's another
just to
upstairs.
admire it.
Press the other button. I can't remember. We had
The
a choice of
lounge
buttons.
was sublime, a work of art.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Let's go down.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from
So
here,
doors.
it's, left.
Okay. If you say so.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No,
oh.
it's to the right. My mistake.
Okay. Right.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right?
Oh, come on, it wouldn't be the
What
right.
was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see.
Oh, I quite like this
Down,
one, actually.
Right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Uh-huh.
No.
Spoilers.
This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all right.
I said no,
The
because I said
story
technically I
completely
haven't played it
unusable.
before.
How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Oh, is this not the line ending? What's the line ending? I forgot.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The line ending's great. Oh, I mean, this
When
is the line
Stanley...
ending.
Wait.
Yeah, this is the
What?
line
What?
ending.
No.
You 7.
No,
okay.
I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
What
Stanley,
doors?
did you change anything when we were back in that room with all
No.
the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Doors. Door maze. Yep. Doors are doors. So is that a Minecraft door? Down here? Everyone knows what you did. They're just holding back to let you torture yourself.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
That's normally how it goes.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, there's no doors.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Too bad there's no Minecraft ending anymore. Backtracking again.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it
Any
comes.
second.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall,
Looks too
but I
dingy.
believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to
Just
restart.
at my grandma's shed. Oh, here we go. The Stanley event.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite endings.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh yeah. Our copyright-free music, everyone. Zigzag, 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 around. Zigzag, zigzag. Zigzag, zigzag. Wow. Wap, wap.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the
We're into the
story.
jungle or something.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
Yep.
You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Zoop, zoop, zoop. We're not going to get our music back?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Yeah, Line, do your job.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you,
I know, right?
after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with
Line,
it.
you had one
Restart.
job.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people,
Let's
right?
put some nice
Why
paint
can't
on the
we
office.
make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Oh, so which direction? That direction.
Now, yes, this
Yep,
is
corridors.
exciting. Just me
The
and
back
Stanley
rooms.
forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready
Yeah, big
for
fan
it.
of the Line.
Oh, no, not you again.
Oh no,
Stanley,
it's you
I'd also like
again.
to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
No, I'm definitely not. Ah, it's gone.
Ah, a choice.
Yeah,
We get to make a
random.
decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a
Yep.
minute.
Oh, wrong way.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead
Okay, I'll go the other way,
somewhere,
just
which
for
means
the
that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with that counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will
get dizzy.
taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic.
Ooh.
Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Oh, yeah, the confusion ending. That's it.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
After a long time. Tiny
That's
life.
really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me?
Oh, it's really
Why
been
don't I get to
18
decide?
minutes.
Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I
Move
don't
on to the
want the
bookstore.
game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game.
Nice
I won't
fancy music.
do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean...
Oh, it was almost
Did we
69.
do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us?
I like how
Will
both
something
ways would have been
happen?
right.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Forgot about that. Alright.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time
Right,
before
so
he
we're going to
found
the
the
boss's
others,
office, right?
wherever they were. Just a matter of time. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Can you go in here? Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Toilet.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean?
I actually got
Stanley
the
wondered
numbers.
aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, we got what? We pressing up or something? Yes, no. Yeah, I pressed up.
Stanley walked straight ahead
least I'm
through
pretty
the
sure I was
large door
pressing
that
up.
read Mind Control Facility.
I pressed up. Was that right? I'm gonna go through escape anyway to make it different.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent
Oh, this
death.
is the other narrator. It's like
The
going
door
through
behind him was not
a
shut.
dark roller coaster
Stanley still
ride
had every
line.
opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nope.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Ooh. Here we go.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and
That would
willingly
hurt, though.
accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, narrator.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as
Oh,
the
no.
machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Woo.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless,
This
making
is also a
life
cool
the same.
ending.
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Office layout. This blueprint shows the office in the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office was, to the two doors that first block the game was built. Section to be added on throughout development. The core layout emerged and called the first iteration. Corridor. The pacing of the opening section is important to get right. This corridor has been reviewed and altered to make sure the players reach the two doors in good time. The two doors. The set of the two open doors, the very first concrete piece of the STANLEY Parable's design. Once the room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an accentuated exploration imposed. Good old filing cabinets. I'll have to walk on, I'll touch the office. Button sounds. A selection of sounds used throughout the game and buttons pressed. Each sound is announced like keyboard stroke in a synchronized tone. Fun. Don't you love a museum? Solitaire. Drawing database. Installation. The office. Maintenance room, early version of the maintenance room. Good old photocopier. Yeah, me too. Who doesn't love a museum? Ultra announcements. In December 2018, we announced the Ultra Deluxe version of STANLEY Parable at the Game Awards. These are screens of the game that made it. That's it. The game's delay. Fun. campfire, whatever. That's where I came from. Warzone. Early development would design an ending where Stanley would end up in a battle fighting aliens. The action game would be sent in a wage war against the narrator, but we wrote it shortly after starting the build for it. It was far too joking on the nose of the tone of the game, but some people interpreted it as making one of the shooters, which was not our intention. That'd be a bit too intense. The lounge, an early version of the lounge. It's not blue enough. The apartment timer in a previous version of the choice the apartment ending at a time would give you 15 seconds with the phone. Not putting the phone would lead to a different ending. Wow, okay. The cargo lift. The second version is functionally the same as what was in the final game, but we wanted to look. This cargo is actually stored. Cargo lift was intended to offer the choice of staying on or jump a different path. Sorry, I think I burped. I'm reading everything. Narrator emails. After the second trailer was sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these further promotion tours, we never found a put use them. Hero section in the emails. You see what an appointment voice. Oh, phone, shut up. Got to mute it again. Game design mock-up. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as an addition piece. Level of strength. The strength of the level got to William behind the game. Then the environment has changed. Basically, now the mock-up so it's the same. I probably missed some stuff. Countdown room. I invented the countdown room. Freedom ending. Beta. Countdown desk. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator the monitor room could go up or down. If we low, and some remember what was up and what was down, and put two in together instead. Yeah, I know. Oh, it's so colourful. Blue. Okay, where are we going? Boss's office. Screens for in the boss's office. Do I just restart when I'm done with this? This is it, right? There's an exit. Where's the exit? I'm lost. Ah, this must be the exit, right? No? Game price that was nice recorded
this
data.
Elevator for sure will get him right back on track to where he was supposed. Now then, this elevator for sure will get him right back on track to where he was supposed to be in the story.
Exit where? Ah, there.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Mm-hmm.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let
Violence. Five endings found. Okay, we need 2 more for the DLC. Go away, Pocket Camp. Alright. Let's do this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, never mind. No, it's not a 5 endings. New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Another train ride.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013
Yes.
on home computers.
2013.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Reimagining.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet,
This game
but I'm
likes
sure
elevators.
it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here?
It's a
Should
glass.
we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go.
yes.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've
This is what we're
never
here for.
been more ready. Let's do it.
Up.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if
Tedious.
Oh, okay. Let's see the
this
content.
pretty
Give me
cool.
the content, Stanley.
Hey, I'm not giving you the content. Game.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Whoa. Like I'm in a pea sash. Mash. Where's that wire go?
Is
There.
that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell,
We've
I
already
could
read it.
count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
A plant. Yay.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar.
But got
and
me.
don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally
Well, unfortunately, Twitter's a bit broken right
It's
now.
my fault, Stanley. I built up too
That's like
much
the third time it's
anticipation
been
around the new
restrained.
content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
Yes.
No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Amen.
What do you say, friend?
That's where we should be, but we're here instead.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay, okay.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak
my God, you
experiences of
did
my
that
life
right.
whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Yes.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how
forget.
wonderful Stanley Parable was
Don't forget
before it
me.
was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember
don't know
back
that
in
happening.
October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Our first kiss, my first car. Released the Stanley Parable 2013. Mozilla. Demo. Oh yes. The video game released in state. Go as far as down to Why can't I sit on the bench, rude?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable.
10 out of
Like
10
this
water.
stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley?
Yes, I know.
Every game ever created. That's how grand and
Ah, I was prime up by
all-encompassing
day.
the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with
pretty.
an hour of new
Can meditate
elevator
in here.
content.
I thought that was a French flag for a second.
Here's another moving passage, this time from
9 out of 10.
GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
Almost.
It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Yep.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
That like
Oh
key.
no.
Steam.
Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video
This is
game
like this is
distributor.
the best version.
I haven't looked
the
at
other
these
ones
in
are
years.
weird.
I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
There's a positive one here.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
It's so funny how you can't read all the positive ones.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always
Narrator, I love you.
But maybe it wasn't.
That voice, that line is one of the best in the game. Unfunny?
These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
A bit insane this time.
There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt
we can
nothing at all but...
He's gone. He's gone. it's all quiet in here. The narrator's dead or something. That's all its noise.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave.
Keep pressing it. And again.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Yeah, me too. It's got a great voice. Rip. Oh. And we're back to darkness again. I love how the scream is getting different every time. Are we going forwards or are we going backwards to dinosaur times? I don't know. Give me my brightness back. This is trippy. Whoa. So bright. Oh. Down, down.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
New content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Uh-huh.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark.
But to be fair, that's
and any new content
forced.
for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
About time. Hope you like the colour of red.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
But I think we should play Stanley with Elena. What the fuck her name was.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Yeah.
Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an
New
artistic
hotness.
statement right there. It's future-oriented. It
Sharpness
screams
hotline.
progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
So, as a designer, I mean, this one's pretty easy to understand. Though, this one's quite cool. Don't like the font on that one or that one. That one, I mean, it kind of looks like the door, so I'll say that's pretty good. There's 2 Stanleys.
Now, to be
Clone.
clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Yeah.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out.
Oh my
Game
God, the
development
bus.
is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
The Stanley Parable 2.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Right, let's just go from left to right. The button says the name of the player that's playing the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And
She-Ra.
of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
But
So with that in
earlier
mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes. Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name
That's
that
the thing, if your name was Jim, then it's
Let's have
perfect.
you role play as Jim to really simulate the
Yes.
full experience of
Jim.
this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply
Jim.
become
My
a
name
person
is
named
Jim. Welcome to the
I want you
stream.
to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim,
Yes.
falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim,
Jim.
seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim,
Yes,
and as Jim,
Jim.
watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Jim creates.
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really
It's
truly
J I
Jim
M
right
right
now?
now. You know.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Oh gosh, my name's Jim. Oh, I can't believe it. There's a button that says my name. Oh, I really hope it says Jim. Oh,
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a
Oh,
rush. That was
yes.
you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
yes, my name's Jim, and this button says my name.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Who's Jim? I don't know what he means. What was it saying about Jim? Anyway. That's a big window. Right, what now?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2.
Like
that
that.
would actually save me the work of finishing
These
this
no
feature.
screenshots while I'm streaming. Ooh, like the carpet. Red is the new orange. Where's never orange? Oh, shoot, baby. I need that ending. Dad, do you want to do collectibles yet? The hole. Actually, is the infinite hole up the stairs?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh, the hole's here. We might as well go to this room. The jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
You didn't like
Oh,
it?
wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
There's the map. Let's do the infinite hole. This is so. Lots of twos.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Well, was I 12? I guess I was 13 when the time the game came out, but let's go with this one. Blue.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Hello, Stanley. Bow down to Stanley. There you go.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Press G.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole
that was
now.
great.
Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole.
We know
it's
it
exactly
isn't.
what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem.
Damn it.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole.
And we can move on to here.
You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
Goodbye.
A normal person would have said, yep, that's an
said
infinite
in two
hole
clips
right
of
there.
string.
Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled.
I'm positively thrilled to go in here
How could I
again.
have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
Can't contain
I
it.
suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my
lots of
lie
that.
has come. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this
It's
scratching
funny because I
the
can't
itch.
jump out.
Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're
Poop in
here
here.
to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the teleport button not working? You sure?
No.
Well, I
There's
mean,
some very flat cigarettes here.
I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care,
Can
Stanley.
I put some water in here, make it
I
a
hope
pool?
you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
Oh, where'd you go? Well, he's gone. Yep. What's time? 21:43. Well, I'm head out. Oh, we're going down. This game and the elevators. I don't know what to say. Oh, he spilled my drink. It's getting awfully dark. Oh my god, I love this bit. It's not flattering. I feel like I'm on Penguin again. Oh my god. Beautiful. Mean. Oh my god, so scary.
Stanley!
Ah!
Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off.
That,
there,
I could literally done that for
drifting away to
hours.
dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley. Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment.
You
So
missed a single
how about
moment.
if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole.
You left
And I'm
me.
looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Can't remember how I get out. Oh, there we go. Right.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Does get our free new and easy achievement. Hell yeah, we love achievements. Free achievement, get yours now. 1, pull the lever. 2, receive your new achievement. 3, no more step, it just works.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well,
Yes.
I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be
What's a
fixed
wizard,
in the sequel
Stanley?
to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world
Break it
who
so
have
it
been
works.
uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
We need to find the collectible Stanleys.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Like the creepy statues. Yay! So cute! I need to animate a Stanley Parable show.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it.
what haven't we
Absolutely
seen?
tragic.
The bucket, of course. We need the bucket. This is what this is the real thing we're here for. Where's Bucketkun?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable
Hallelujah!
Reassurance
Hallelujah!
Bucket.
Hallelujah!
You see, Stanley, anytime
Here he
you're
is.
holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps
We have it.
even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive
Oh, you can also
dissonance
forward just
while
by
the
right
bucket
clicking.
is in your
Cool.
arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Thank you.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair,
Bucket.
must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Could put it
I
on my
think that
head.
just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits
Well, you
of
said it
the
wasn't
bucket seem to
before.
go on and on, don't they? All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Hell yes. Right. Anything
Does anyone
we
give out
haven't seen?
awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Went through here, didn't we? This now says move steam film. We've done that. Have we done anything? Is there anything that I've missed? Are we heading out to the exit? Let's head out to the exit. It would be helpful if I was on the right side of the rope.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Uh-huh.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
Can I actually sit
Yes, I
down?
know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good
Yes.
game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Let's do this.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Woo!
I mean, there's potential here, right?
We got
It's
first 6
sort of-
jumps.
Okay,
It's not
never
bad.
mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much
I'm
better.
reassured
feel
because I have the
good about
reassurance
this.
bucket.
Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't
If it
stand on
one-handed
their
for a
own.
bit.
They would need the
My nail's
structure
too
and the
long, I keep
gameplay of
hurting
the
it.
original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Here we go. The Stanley Parable 2. Oh. Let's begin the game. Damn, I have to retitle the stream.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was
There's the
employee
balloons.
number 427.
If you look at the building, I think the
Employee
balloon would
number
have crashed too much.
427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
Well, I've
Though
already
he had
taken the
been
title
made
screen from what
exactly
should be
what
put
was
before.
written.
It's fine.
Stanley was happy.
I didn't care the title screen, it's all about the game.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
I know the storyline's
No
a bit
one had
different
showed
from the
up to
first
give him
game.
instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh yeah, I'm here on Hannah, wasn't I?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Is it this door I don't remember?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yeah.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Let's go this way. Moving this way in a
Now,
while.
said the bucket,
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I do want to try and drop off.
Good, said
and
the
go
bucket.
there.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why
Actually,
or
let's
how
go
this
follow the
bucket
bucket.
was speaking
Let's
to
follow
him.
the bucket.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Well, this is dark.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay. Ow, my ass.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
The bucket. Hi, bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press Z to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press X to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Press U to go back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me?
Don't hear
Listen
me.
to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it would ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press R to take us back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket.
Oh, there you
You
are.
know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid
bucket.
hunk of metal.
Press V to ignore anyone in your life except me.
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket,
probably
this
like a computer silly
cold,
bucket.
empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press M to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket.
Yeah, it's special.
It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid.
Yeah.
Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press N to relieve the same day for me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press M to go to
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with
I
the
mean,
bucket?
you can
Hear what the
technically
bucket
put
has to
stuff
say.
in the
Do
bucket
anything
if
it
you know what I
asks.
mean.
What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
No.
Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
It's mine.
I need
It's
it.
mine.
Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
I mean, look, he's pretty sexy. Go to work, Stanley. Go back to work. I can read.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we? Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the
Let's
door
go
of his
left.
left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
I mean, bucket can go in the... What was it?
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
I don't know what
You
that's
can
supposed
feel
to
that,
be.
can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it
No.
deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning
We
supplies.
can't allow it to
Good for you,
happen.
Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Let's do the actual story.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned
Once again,
to
I've
discover
forgotten the
not an
number.
indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Thank you, bucket,
Even now,
mama.
in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Oh. 2845. Wait, if it's 4. Hold on.
Stanley just sat
2,
around twiddling his
8,
thumbs,
4,
trying to
5.
input anything on the device. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
When you stand.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each
Looks like a
and
smash. It
every
looks like a
moment
Smash
you
amiibo.
come across one of these
Like,
beautiful
is it gold?
figurines. The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room
Here we go
packed
again.
with television screens. What horrible secret
I
did
might
this
it's
place
the last
hold? Stanley and the
just
bucket both
loops around in
wondered
a
to
full
themselves.
circle, you know. I might do another stream with this. I don't know. We'll see.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
Don't do that.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley
Well.
cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Hope
Had the
not.
bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Wait, does it want to
These
scoop up
questions
water?
raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket.
Ah!
He couldn't accept it.
That's a bit of
His
an
own
echo.
life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Not even you, narrator.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
That is a good
Both of them wanted to begin watching any movie,
oh.
but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
No.
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty.
For up in the bucket.
Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
Buckets, no.
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no.
Oh no, it's gonna...
Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room.
No.
But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me,
it's
right?
almost keeping him too
won't
calm.
I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now,
I actually got
he
through
was
life, oh
about
my
to
god.
find out.
Okay, since I did that ending, it's the first ending I did, I think I'm going to leave it there, because that comes quite well full circle, so my stomach hurts. So, I'll probably come back to this game and do some more ending, because I think it's good that I left it open for that. But, there you go. And now I get to appreciate the new screens. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. The title screen will quit to menu. There you go. Yeah, anyway, that's the Stanley Parable. I finally got to play it because I got this game like right when I first got Steam, and I haven't actually been able to play it since. So, ooh, look at that. Ooh. I'm not entirely sure what next week's stream's going to be. It could be a good one. I mean, it's going to be a good one anyway. But whatever it is, I will be back next week. So yeah, anyway, guess that's goodbye. Goodbye.